Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Jordan here. Today we're going to be installing the new shelves on that big white wall right there. They're going to go above the amusement park, and they're the same shelves that we installed over my desk here the other day. I really like the look of them, and I can't wait to just fill in this white wall. As you can see, I've got all the tools necessary for hanging the shelves, so let's get started. So it's funny, I was going to use a laser level to do this. You saw me use it there for a brief moment. It is like the cheapest laser level you can buy. As soon as I started using it, the suction gave out, it hit the ground, and broke. So back to the old school way of doing it, of measuring 4 times and hopefully drilling once, using my level to try and get it exact. Good thing I got the 4-foot level, and you know what? It really wasn't too bad. Install all the tracks. I just put the first screw in, and then I went through and did all the other ones separately. Now, there is a missing stud. I thought there'd be one in the corner there, but unfortunately there is not. So yeah, probably we'll have to come up with a solution for that. Now that we got all the tracks installed, it's time to install the brackets and also our shelving. The shelving that I had in my garage is rather old. It's been through sky trains, vehicle ramps, multiple different shelving things, so I had to clean it all up with some Windex and a scraper. After getting this one installed, I decided to raise it up just a little bit there, just one extra thing just to get it a little bit higher up off the amusement park. Now that I've got the first shelf installed, it's time to install the second one. Once again, just slapping those brackets in there. I love these track systems because you can adjust these shelves so easily. So yeah, these are 2 8-foot shelves, and once again, I'm like, this one's better go lower, so I decided to lower it just to give us some more clearance on that top shelf. With the first 2 8-foot shelves installed, I think it's looking pretty good. I'm really excited to get some color on there. There are a few things that maybe could have been done a little bit better. The fact that my laser level broke was sort of upsetting. I'll have to go buy a better one of those. Now, you saw me change the height of this shelf here. I could lower it again so it's closer to this shelf here. Now, when I hung the other ones over here above my desk, I didn't measure, I did, of course, I measured from the ceiling down to get them all level. And it magically lined up with this shelf. I'm starting to think that I should have done that exact same thing over here. But I decided to center these smaller 48-inch long tracks sort of on the wall there. And I didn't want to bring them too high because maybe one day we want to do something with the shelf down here to support the Lego City. I don't know. So left that open. Now ultimately what I could do is shift them all to make that work. But I think when we get the Lego on there, this gap isn't going to bother me too much. Now something that has come to light is the fact that I can have the shelves come here. Originally I was thinking of not even doing that. I was thinking of having the shelves start here. But I now realize that it doesn't infringe on the city too much. I can still access there. I can still pop my silly head out. So I can have the shelving come all the way to the end there. So that actually increases the size of, So that actually increases the size of the shelf that I can put over there. My camera does not like these white walls, so I'm excited to get some color up here. But I can put a 63-inch shelf, and that will go right to the corner. But as I said, when we were installing these brackets here, or the tracks, there's no stud in that corner. There's only a stud on that far wall. I do have a couple options. I could put the track right there and have the shelf or the brackets coming out this way. I just think that would look super awkward and not do the best job supporting it. Another thing that I could do is get the steel butterfly anchors and use the steel butterfly anchors to install our last track somewhere over there. Those would be able to support the weight. They can support 90 pounds. So I could do that. What I'm going to do is cut my 63-inch shelves. I need 2 of them. I only have the lumber to do 1 though. So cut my 1 63-inch shelf, I guess, and install it here and see if that end over there is sort of going to flop down and eventually bow down, which I almost guarantee it will because that's actually 2 feet because the steel studs are 2 feet apart. But I still want to cut it and install it and see how it looks. Now, obviously, these are the first shelves that I'm hanging above the Lego City. I don't know if there's going to be more, but another thing that we could do to address the situation over there in the corner is I could put shelves on the back wall, which could use that stud. And those could come up right against the wall. Then I could shorten these by 12 inches, and that would be the fix to our problem. It might look good. I mean, over here, it's like these facades are too tall. So over there, it definitely wouldn't look good. But maybe like right there, that might look decent. And maybe even a long one going along the top. I don't know. If we were to do more in the city, I would probably do them on this big white wall right here, because I think that would actually look pretty good. 1, 2. Doesn't really infringe on much. Yeah, I've got one 6-foot shelf right here. And then this one's just over 4 feet, I think. So I could put that one up there as well. I'm surprised I don't have the right shelving. Here in Bricksie's lumberyard. Lots of melamine though. I could cut one, but I wouldn't have that nice clean edge. There's a 16-inch shelf right here actually. We could probably scrap something together, but I'm definitely happy to be using some of the lumber out of here just to clean up my mess. I hate to throw it away, and I'd hate to buy more when I got this perfectly good lumber in my garage. Last time we cut shelves, I didn't do this trick. I knew about the trick because Sting and I did it when we built our tables, but to prevent the melamine from chipping, I'm just using some green tape on the cut line. All right, so back up on the tables. Good thing we built these tables deck strong. We built them using 2x6. Once again, a big shout out to Sting's Bricks for helping me build these awesome tables, getting our last 2 shelves installed so they pretty much go right to the wall. Might have a little bit of a problem there, but I have a solution. I do have these little steel brackets that can connect the 2 shelves. That's probably what I'll use. There's these short little screws that go into the steel brackets, and they'll make them connect seamlessly, which will look pretty good. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Obviously, I need to get one more shelf cut for that corner, go buy one. It's funny, I had a piece of pencil lead on my table. I was like, what's causing this mess? Is this little pencil lead right there? It's all over the shelf too. These are all the little brackets that I'm talking about right here. Oh, where are they all? These are my big ones. I thought I had a whole pick-a-brick cup full of them. Where did they go? Oh, right here. These are the shelving things I'm talking about. See, there's a good way to use pap cups. So these can go under the shelves, and they can fasten them together. I've got all sorts of them, because I've done all sorts of different shelving layouts. So yeah, as you can see, no shortage of supplies to connect those bad boys. I even have the big ones. I don't think we need to use those. You can do them on the top too, so we can't see them. But I think it's better to do them on the bottom because then it's not resisting gravity as much. I think on the top they're fighting gravity more. But yeah, there we go. I got the supplies we need. All right, here's our first test. Let's put my boy Mickey right there to see how it feels. That's what I'm talking about. Big display sets all along there. Yeah, it's gonna look so good, I'm telling you right now. This is gonna be a moment in time where I'm like, yeah, that was a good move. Just filling those walls with epic sets. Then when we were looking at the city, it's gonna be like, boom. A lot of comments have been saying like, oh, the main reason why you changed the city layout is to remove the shelves from behind because you didn't like the look of the shelves behind. I don't recall ever saying that. Can anyone quote me on that? I don't recall saying that. The reason we changed the Lego City is because you couldn't see the bottom half of the shelves. And also because the narrow walkway in the back there was very claustrophobic, and the modular table that we had to pull out to access the city was a big pain in the side. And when we made the changes, we unlocked more shelving space for sets. That's why we made the shelving changes. It wasn't because the sets were behind. In fact, if you go back and watch my videos, I constantly repeat myself saying, oh man, the shelving behind the city looks so good at the old house and also at the new house. Definitely not against having Lego sets around the Lego City. In fact, I think it's my niche and also my YouTube niche. And also just one of the things that makes me so unique is that I have so many different sets on display. Plus I love collecting Lego. So I think having more shelf space and utilizing every square inch of the Lego City like I did with the Lego room, like I did with the bulkheads, and now I'm doing with these shelving units is just the way to do it, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm totally for having shelves going around the city as long as everything is accessible and looks good. That's what I care about, as long as it looks good in the end. I decided to add Optimus Prime, also the pirate ship, the Destiny's Bounty, and then up top here, I fit the T-Rex Rampage set with the Jurassic Park gate, Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. So I'm running into a problem now. The problem is, well, I don't have enough Lego to fill all those shelves up there because obviously I'm taking those sets from these shelves, and the more sets I take from over here, well, the emptier it becomes. So I need more Lego. Good thing I'm doing this. Do you know why? Because I'm preparing myself for next year, 2023, because guess what? I guarantee Lego is going to produce more sets next year. With that said, I have to make sure the amusement park is very modular, and there is something probably in the center that can very easily be removed so that I can sort of pivot on the table from the access hole in the middle there and place sets on the shelves. That's going to be imperative, but everything is mills plated, so it's very easy to just pick up things like the carousel and move it. To help fill up the shelves, I decided to move the Lion Knight's castle out of the medieval area and put it up there. Just temporary because I'm nowhere near starting the medieval area, so it does a good job of filling it up and also looks great up there. So I think that's pretty cool. Also, I put the Stranger Things upside down and also the Arkham Asylum. Just below that, we got the bonsai tree and also the medieval blacksmith. Obviously, playing around with shelving is a lot of fun, just coming up with new display solutions and changing up your displays so they look different. As you can probably tell, I'm staying away from putting Star Wars up there. With that said, a Death Star or something like that might look really cool, sort of looming over the city. But I think for now, I want to keep all my Star Wars stuff together on the billies down here. Now I still have quite a bit of available space over there. I still have to replace that one shelf there. So I don't know if I'm going to put stuff there just because I have to take it down anyway. I was thinking about making this move. Now in the Lego room here, I have some of these PAX wardrobe units, and they do a really good job of hosting our really big sets like the UCS Millennium Falcon, the gunship, and also the Razor Crest, which I'm still working on building. That eventually is going to need a home, and I really don't have any available space on a PAX unit right now. So what I'm thinking about doing is moving all of our space stuff onto that shelf over there. What I could do is stand the Saturn V up because you can display it upright, and then all of this other stuff would fit over there as well. You can see I've got some open space right there, also along the bottom here, and if I do that, I'd have an entire pack shelf. Woo! So we're getting more and more space here in the Lego room, which is fantastic because I don't plan on retiring from Lego collecting quite yet. It's funny, I was thinking to myself, what would be really cool, I'm not going to do it, but it's an idea that I could run with, is put a third shelf in right here, a really narrow one that's only about this tall, and I could put all of my brick heads all the way along. That actually might be a pretty cool idea. Currently my brick heads are on these custom Lego built stands right here. They look really good, but it might be a neat way to change it up. With that said, you can see the height of the Disney castle and it's not yet on its platform. So when I put that on its platform, it's actually going to come up and pretty much go in front of the shelf. We'll just have to make sure there's nothing behind it. Also, I have to be careful because if I lower the shelf anymore, add another shelf, things like the haunted house are not going to fit underneath that shelf. In fact, I don't think it fits now. Maybe just barely. So I just got to be careful that I don't infringe on the amusement park too much. However, with that said, I am going to have one, possibly two train lines that are running on the back of the table. So the stuff might be pulled far enough forward because these shelves are only 12 inches. One train line is 5 inches, two train lines, 10 inches. And as you can see, I've got about 2.5 inches there. So if I have two train lines running behind, that sort of solves that problem. What I'm going to do with the amusement park, I'm not too sure. Obviously, it's a project that we're going to be addressing here pretty quickly. Well, you know what? I guess I was wrong about the Saturn V. It is a very, very, very tall set. And no, it did not fit standing in the corner. I did lay it down there, and there is some space behind it so I could put some taller sets. I also put the ISS to the left side there, which sort of makes sense. You know, the ISS is hovering over the city. Then we've got all the other space sets. And then I added a Ninjago temple right there as well, just to fill in that space. And it looks pretty good beside the Destiny's Bounty. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the shelving so far. I really do like the look of it. There are a few things that I have to fix up. Like I mentioned, that one there just has to be connected to the other shelf. I guess my track there is just a little bit lower. It must be whatever measurement that is, 1/8 of an inch or so. I found it really hard to get it exact because, I don't know, I guess I'm just not a skilled tradesman. I'm not even mediocre, I would say. But I think the shelving that we set up here above the amusement park looks awesome. It's given us tons of room for expansion, which I'm really stoked about. I 100% will be doing the exact same thing on the other side. I don't think I need to rush in and do that because, well, I have nothing to fill it up with. I mean, most of the sets up there are temporarily put up there, right? So I don't really have any Lego to put on the far wall over there, but eventually I will. So at least there's room for expansion here as we move forward in 2022 and get ready for 2023. So much available space for new sets, which I'm really excited about. And I just think that does a really good job of filling that back wall. It doesn't cast a huge shadow over the amusement park, and it just gives us more space. The next thing that I'm gonna work on in regards to the layout over here is actually my new train track line. I'm gonna be getting my trains operating. I'm also thinking about adding another line for the Disney train. So separate line like we used to have. In fact, we used to have in all of my different amusement park layouts. So I'm thinking about that. I'm also still thinking about that raised train track line. And now that I have an open, clean slate over here to work with, I think that's the perfect opportunity to start sort of playing around with that stuff there. I still have to address what I'm going to do in the corner there about that missing track, but it seems like the shelving is holding up. And I might not even have to get one cut if I run with this. Once again, I just have to insert those adapters there. It's weird because the gap up top between the two shelves is larger than the one before or below. So there might be a little bit of shelf warp that's playing a factor there as well. Who could know? Everybody, let me know what you think. Remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for some more great stuff as we continue to build our Lego room. Thank you so much for coming on by. Farewell.